Quite the stormy evening out there. It is 10 o'clock Eastern time. We're on a little later. Yes, I know it says 9:30 right there. I forgot to hit the save button. So we are on at 10, not 9:30. And again, if you're doing anything driving overnight, keeping an eye on the weather, it looks like the severe threat is ending, but there will be potential of more showers and thunderstorms out there as we catch a bit of a break from a cold front moving in from the northeast, something we don't see too often out there. We'll take a look at some of the photography that we got from across the area tonight. We'll also take a look at radar and the almanac page and all the usual stuff, and take a look at the tropics as we are getting much closer to hurricane season. Starts June 1st. It already has started in the Pacific, but it starts June 1st in and around the Atlantic. So we'll talk more about that coming up here in just a little bit. I'm Chief Meteorologist Austin Onek. This is our exclusive video weather blog, Weather Overtime from News 12 in downtown Chattanooga, Tennessee. Keeping our eyes on the situation for tonight. Things have changed for the better, at least a little bit for right now. The only watch that we now have in effect is way over what's left of a couple of severe thunderstorm watches into North Carolina. No more severe thunderstorm watches taking place here, which is definitely some good news. We'll take a look at the severe potential coming up in just a little bit. We did have a couple of severe thunderstorm warnings out there. Now just some scattered showers and some accompanying thunderstorms for the most part. Heaviest stuff as of 10 o'clock Eastern, 9 Central, moving into western North Carolina, across northern Georgia, and some more replacement showers and thunderstorms back into around portions of southern middle Tennessee and northeastern areas of Alabama. All that moving roughly east-southeast, and we're just not getting anything in the way of huge amounts of problems out there for right now, so good news on that. We do have, again, more thunderstorms back to the west of us. Some of these could wander through northeast Alabama, northern Georgia into the rest of the evening, but so far we're just not getting too much of anything out there in the way of problems. No reports of any damage tonight. Very good news on that. There was the potential of some wind damage, and we may still see more of that taking place back to our east in about the next couple of hours, but otherwise it looks like things are decently quiet for right now. Matter of fact, let me see if I can go ahead and bring up again the severe potential for tonight, which was a lot more powerful just a couple of hours ago. We again had an enhanced risk of severe weather just to our north and east. That is gone. Slight risk is back to the east of us as well. The pale green area is just generic thunderstorms possible, and that could happen at any point in time tonight. There is a marginal threat eastern Tennessee, all of northern Georgia, and extreme northeastern parts of Alabama, but that also will be heading away from us overnight. So the severe threat really doesn't look like there is too much at this time, and now that we've removed the slight risk category, the main potential of severe weather is going away. It's taking a while to make its way out of the picture, but again, that is where we see most of that activity leaving the area. So good news again for most of the area on that for tonight. Let's take a quick look at the almanac page and see if we wound up with anything. We did manage to get another 0.03 of an inch in the rain gauge today. So with the last couple of days, that's 1/10 of an inch total over 2 days' time, within 7 degrees of a record high temperature. Didn't come close to a record low. That hasn't been broken since 1973. A little breezy today, but not bad. And again, decently above normal on the temperatures out there for today. Thinking, again, some great pictures out there. Maddie Benton in Cleveland, Tennessee wanted to know what she was looking at when she saw this picture. And I'm sorry, it's a little bit washed out there. And that's not helping. We got to get this down here for a little bit. You can see this on social media. The sun is over my left shoulder and well back over here, just again barely visible with that rainbow effect. That's called a sundog. It happens when the ice crystals or the raindrops of a cloud are just at the right level in the atmosphere, and the angle of the sun and the angle of the viewer all mix up pretty well. It can form part of a larger ring around the sun or a halo, but the tiny little portions like this is called a sundog. That's our West Shore home weather window picture of the day. So thank you very much, Maddie Benton from Cleveland, Tennessee, for sending that in. Got pictures. We would love to see them and show them as we just did for our West Shore home weather window picture of the day on all of our social media channels, or just email them to us at pictures@wdef.com. Love to be able to see what you're seeing out there tonight. And thanking a couple of our viewers for posting these to our social media channels, our storm snapshots. Taking a look from Dalton, Georgia. Thank you very much. Penny Findlay Hayes of a very nice shelf cloud coming through the area of northwestern Georgia. Thank you very much for that particular capture. And a nice double shot from around Dunlop in Tennessee, if I'm not mistaken. I hope I'm pronouncing that town correctly. Jeff Peterson, thank you very much from the north side of Dunlop for showing us some very nice stormy skies coming on through there. Some of our storm snapshots. We'll be posting these to social media as well later on tonight. But that's about as much as we've seen for this evening. And we may see some interesting conditions coming up in the course of the next couple of days as we see again the potential for wildfire smoke making its way southward. Now this loses the visibility as we lose the visible light of the day as the sun goes down, but that band right there, that is a band of smoke making its way across the Great Lakes and coming down our direction with a cold front moving into the eastern United States. So this smoke could be heading our direction in the next few days. It does not look like it's going to be anything in the way of a major health problem. It could be, depending again on how focused a lot of this smoke can be. But it looks like into the rest of the forecast that the first arc comes down to the south, and we may see a couple of waves moving through of some of that smoke. That most of the smoke appears to be going with the prevailing winds off to the east. So most of that should be over southeast Canada, maybe around New England, picking up some more out there. But as we see that first round come through on Wednesday and into around Thursday and Friday, recirculating around as that loops its way back around our direction, and perhaps another line coming through as well toward week's end, we could see some hazy skies out there, but it really doesn't look like we're going to be seeing too much of a major problem. And as long as these wildfires continue and there's really little out there in the way of weather to slow them down, the smoke will continue to billow out of this area and make its way down across portions of the eastern United States. Again, it doesn't look like a huge amount of a problem. If it does look like it's going to be increasing and causing lung ailments and whatnot, we will definitely let you know a little bit more about that as we go into the next couple of days. Let's go ahead and take a look at our map and show you that, again, we've got our storm system moving on through. As it does, we'll be watching this system head off to the east relatively slowly, and back to the west of us, there's really just not that much going on. So we may see some minor systems coming on through, but it's a good possibility that we could see, again, more of that in the way of showers and thunderstorms out there. So again, that could be a bit of an issue, especially as we go toward the weekend. We'll talk more about that coming up here when it comes to the 7-day forecast in just a little bit. Jeff Peterson, give me a second and let me see if I've got that information here. I know we had it up here not too long ago. I might have accidentally deleted it. I hope not. Looks like this computer is going to make me do things the hard way, so just hang on 1 second and we'll answer that question. That there we go. Yes, the answer to your question, if everybody's seeing it on there, Jeff's question, can we ever see Saharan dust here in East Tennessee? Yes, we can. We often have. We will again at some point in time. Now, right now, the major concentration of dust is over portions of the Sahara. There's no real prevailing wind taking it out over the Sahel and into around portions of the Atlantic. But we can see that make its way over parts of the Atlantic. And again, you see that stripe right there. That shows the heaviest amount of dust taking place. It's not much for right now, but enough of this over the Atlantic can remove just enough sunlight to reduce the amount of the power coming through to create more hurricanes. So this over here, an ocean away, can make its way all the way over to the United States. It often has. Some of the last heavier amounts of that came through in about 2017, 2018, somewhere in there. And I remember that back in Memphis, it actually coated the cars and the buildings and the streets and kind of like pollen out there in its own way. So yeah, we can definitely get that out there, and that can head all the way over. There's nothing really major taking place for right now, but it is possible that we could see that again if the conditions are right. So we'll watch that to see what goes on in the near future. Speaking of the near, or the far future for that matter too, overnight as we get into tomorrow, we should be seeing again the potential for these showers and thunderstorms dwindling as we get toward bus stop time for the kids, for those kids who still have school. Back into tomorrow afternoon, there may be the potential of some showers and thunderstorms taking place south of Chattanooga, and again, some of that might affect northwest Georgia and northeastern Alabama, but for right now, it's a minor possibility at best, so we're just not seeing much of anything going on there. Now, by Thursday morning, we see not much going on at first, but there may be the potential, excuse me, of some activity popping up as we get into and around the area of early Thursday morning. And then as we go into and around the area of Thursday afternoon, we'll be looking for more potential of showers and thunderstorms coming on through. It doesn't look like a huge chance, but it will be bigger than what we've seen over the course of the last couple of days. And that will increase again as we go into Saturday, as we see that front kind of bounce its way back and forth across much of the area. This front that is bringing all that smoke down our direction, that could be just a bit of a problem out there. But again, for right now, it doesn't look like too much. The best potential of anything involving rainfall will be coming up again on Thursday. That's about a 60 to 70% coverage chance there. And again on Saturday with again about a 70 to 80% coverage chance if memory serves on this one. We've been very much above normal over the last several days. Might get back that direction toward next week. Normal for this time of the year, right about the upper 70s to lower 80s. So not too far away from that for the next several days. But we will continue again to see that potential for some fairly warm weather out there. At least it's holding steady in the normal range instead of jumping right into the 90s and the oppressive humidity that can be seen at this time of the year. So after that, toward the rest of the weekend, we get a bit of a dry spell and then more rainfall toward the middle part of next week. Right before we hit about Memorial Day, but doesn't look like too much problem for now. As we get closer to that, we'll keep you updated as to what may be heading your direction out there. So for tomorrow morning, as the kids head out for the school bus stop, looks like just partly cloudy skies, humid, and looking at temperatures back in the mid-60s. Now through tomorrow afternoon, it's going to be a warm one. Temperatures maybe about the mid-80s. There will be an isolated possibility of a thunderstorm, and that again will be mainly south of the Tennessee line. Not seeing much of anything else coming our direction really anytime soon on that. Speaking of school and getting toward the end of school, we're not going to be seeing too many requests coming up to get us into the classroom, but I know that there are vacation Bible schools out there, summer science camps, things like that. If you'd like to have us visit your classroom, wherever you happen to be, in and around the News 12 viewing area for parts of the Tennessee River Valley, head to our Food City Weather in the Classroom program at the website wdef.com/weather. Fill out the details, where you are, who you are, how we can contact you, how many students we're talking to, what grade level, and if there's any specific topics you would like us to tackle, weather safety, anything of that nature, just give us a shout on the webpage, and we'd be glad to do what we can to help give your students a little bit more information about what it takes to find out more, get more curious about weather, and to figure out more about how to be safe when severe weather hits, especially during the summer season and the upcoming second severe weather season as we go toward October, November, and early December in this part of the country. We're basically out of the severe weather season. Tonight, yes, we did have a chance of some severe weather, not getting that, but it's important to know more about what to do when those seasons come around. And again, October, December, that's our next big time frame. Between here and there, the summer doldrums, we can catch some severe weather, but not a lot. So again, we'll be watching that with a lot of interest. We don't have much going on. Right before we sign off, it's about 10:15 Eastern time, and we have showers taking place for the most part with the occasional rumble of thunder northeast Alabama into northwest Georgia, and more activity back to the west of us. Some of this activity might scrape close to the Chattanooga area, but but for right now, it doesn't look like a major concern. Again, hopefully it remains that direction, but we'll keep our eyes on that. Wide scale, again, showing those severe thunderstorm watches, what are left of them in the purple shaded area, and some severe thunderstorm warnings back towards Charlotte. We continue again to see these showers and thunderstorms overnight, but as that drier air makes its way on through, we'll see a lack of rainfall for most of the day, for most of the area tomorrow, and then we'll pick back up on that as that warm, moist air surges back our direction. But the good news, again, at this time is that it appears that the threat for severe weather has started to pass us by, well over to the east of us, the slight risk category. It was an enhanced risk earlier on, not seeing that anymore, and then just the possibility of generic thunderstorms throughout the rest of the evening. So it looks like, again, crossing our fingers, dotting the I's and crossing the T's, we should be looking at some quiet conditions overnight. Would not be surprised to see a rumble of thunder out there, so definitely want to watch out to see what's going on there. Go ahead and make certain your weather radio is ready to go, just to be on the safe side. Chip Chapman's been away for us for a couple of days to take care of some official business. He'll be back tomorrow morning bright and early at 5 a.m., and I'll be back into tomorrow afternoon to let you know more about what's going on there. But for tonight, again, good news. As of about 10:15 Eastern Time, we look to be really diminishing the threat for severe weather. Hopefully it stays that way. If not, we'll let you know. But as of right now, things should be quiet enough as we go into overnight. Doesn't look like any organized severe weather really heading our way anytime soon. Questions, concerns, ideas about what you want to see on here, complaints, if you absolutely must, go ahead, wdef.com/weather. And, of course, you can email me through the website. It's aonic@wdef.com. And would love to hear from you to see more about what you would like to be able to see on here for a little bit later on. I'm Chief Meteorologist Austin Onick. This has been a live update of our exclusive video weather blog, Weather Overtime, from News 12 in downtown Chattanooga, Tennessee. Updates again on your forecast tomorrow morning, bright and early at 5 a.m. with Chip Chapman. Thanks for joining us tonight. Stay safe as, again, the rain and thunder continues across parts of the area into early overnight.